Okay. I'm gonna see if this fixed the weird... I am glad that I stopped because, like, I wasn't willing to stop in midstream to just see if I could fix the video. But it looks like the video's fixed. Flip yeah! Flip yeah! Oh, this girl's a really trick, ain't nothing to give me back. Ain't no holla back girl, ain't no holla back girl. You diamond around that tree. I'm sorry, I'm singing it like that, but that's the way I learned how to sing it as a kid. And now that's the way I sing it. I was looking for the remote because I want to turn on music in the background. In the background, we wish to play music today. Okay. What are you doing, buddy? Oh. Spotify. Oh yeah, that's what it's supposed to do, the beep and then listen to my voice. What are you doing? Can we... Are we ready to try again? You ready? Ready? Spotify.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. No, it's appreciated. Ready? Hey! How are you? How was your day? I was actually on earlier. I was painting the trim, but I decided that... What did I decide? Oh, I had someone come over, and so I stopped and I ended the stream. But if you look at the video, for some reason, it made my, like, screen really tiny, so I'm a little glad I did, because then, like, I can have, like, the second half of the stream technically be, like, actually, like, how it is normally. I don't know what happened that it caused it to look like that, but I only noticed, like, after I'd set a whole bunch of stuff up, and I was just like, I don't know, I'm not gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna keep painting. So, that's that. That's how that works. Anyways, let's find some royalty-free music. I think it's funny you have to do that. I get it. I just... I just want to Google something first. How was your day? What have you been up to? Well, you just woke up, huh? I've been awake all day. I've done a bunch of stuff. I had a nice long conversation with a friend today, and it was wonderful. I love doing that. You get to catch up, you know? I love catching up with friends. And also, I posted today. Wait, I thought I clicked. Ah, dang it. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna click it this time. There we go. We need the music in the background. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's see. I tried two now, so let's try this one as a different one. Let's see what this is like. It says another royalty free, so we'll see. Okay. Anywho, now that we're back, we got some music in the background. Oh, it's right here. I've eaten some of it already. The person I had over had food with me. So, I'm, like, finishing it up, essentially. Not that I hate that, though. Because even though I like talking while on stream, it is difficult for me to focus on eating anything. And so then I'm just going to be sitting here, like, talking while my food's getting cold. Not that I mind that much, truthfully, because I actually kind of like eating cold food. Like, is that... Like, to be honest, sushi and ceviche, just talking about it. Those are my number one foods. Love that shit. And I got into mukbangs for a while, but for some reason, like, as much as I wanted to watch them, there just wasn't something fully satisfying, and so I just stopped watching them. And then I started watching these videos of, like, indigenous culture and trying to learn more about... There's a lot of different tribes all over the world. Not even, like, in the US, but, like, all over the world. And they all have their own things and their own way of life. And it's been really cool learning. My favorite is in the colder climates where they freeze, like, raw fish or meat and they slice it really thin. I love watching those videos. I love watching them slice it. I drool thinking about being able to taste it. I'm salivating a little bit. So I got my cold bacon, my pancake, my milk. I'm weird, and I don't like it, but you should try it. Though my friend did not like the cold bacon. Not a fan. We all have our thing, I guess. And late night, it's 9:30, by the way. I think a lot of people eat around this time. I don't think it's just me, okay? And also, I didn't eat breakfast until like noon. So I didn't have lunch until like 4. I can't have dinner 2 hours later. I'm not hungry. You know? I want to have a napkin. I need a napkin. Okay. Back. You think that's late night? Dang. I don't know. I used to not eat till like midnight. But that's when I stayed up to like 3 or 5. Now I try to go to bed around at least. I've been doing before like midnight, but like it's honestly like 1 o'clock. I'm more of an evening person. Early morning is just... I feel so overwhelmed. Like, if I wake up, like, I feel so tired still. And that's probably my sleeping habits. But, like, if I wake up around 7 or 8, I'm so groggy and, like, everything feels like so much. From Washington, D.C. I'm on the other side. I'm like California, Oregon, Washington side. In the west. Is that what they call us? Westices. Pacific Northwest is Oregon and Washington. So I can Google it. $7,000 miles. Why don't they go the other way? Wouldn't we be closer? Nautical miles. 6,000 nautical miles. I think that means ocean. Why is it shorter by 1,000 by a boat? Apparently, $50 flight to Pakistan right now. If anyone needs to know. That's so crazy. Okay, but seriously, why do they go across the Atlantic Ocean when I'm pretty sure the other direction would be closer? Maybe it's because that's the flight pass. Pacific Ocean. I guess the Pacific Ocean is bigger. I never paid attention if it was bigger than the Atlantic or not. Alright. But it still feels like... they might be the same. Maybe that's what they mean by nautical miles. Maybe 6,000 from the Pacific, and then like 1,000 on land, or a little over 7 air. Interesting. Don't know how long that would take, but that's how many miles. You're also a kilometers person, huh? It's America that only does the miles stuff. Ooh, I've never been like over there besides where I went for France and Barcelona, but I never thought that like I would get the chance to go over there, and like I'm like, oh yeah, like I do need to visit Pakistan at some point. Like I need to like look what's fun to do. The hard part for me is like I would look first at all the touristy stuff, and then I wouldn't want to do any of that because large crowds, like I can handle, I can deal, we good. I just limitation, and I need to know that like there's like I need to be able to go somewhere else, you know, and not have lots of people. Like Paris was good, and also I'm really glad that I walked around a lot instead of like going to all the touristy stuff, because I went to a few touristy things and it just wasn't so many people, and I also feel like we went on an off season, so there wasn't like that many people. And Barcelona was the same. I'm glad we were staying like in our own private like boat house thing on the water, and we weren't trying to go to any of the beaches and stuff. And yeah, I just like appreciating like the area more than like the touristy things anyways. I also need to learn what language do you guys speak in Pakistan? I feel ignorant as fuck, sorry. I can look it up. Punjabi, Is it Pashto? Cindy. I don't feel like I'm gonna say that right. Saraki? Yurdu? Balochi? Hinduku? I'm sorry if I'm murdering these. That's cool. Every place is so much more interesting and cooler than the US ever has been. Like, every time I look into, like, languages of places or buildings, architecture, history, it's just way better. It's just 10 times better. Oh, okay, different native language. That's nice though that at least they like admit them. If you look up like on YouTube, you just search like what the US languages are, it's going to be like English and then that Spanish is the next well-spoken language. It doesn't say shit about the indigenous people languages here. So that's beautiful. I'm glad that you guys do that. You do. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, I've seen that written. It's cool. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, architecture is just so much cooler everywhere else but the US. That's a huge town you're from. What did you say about it? You said it's a city. Okay. It's a huge city. I was like, I feel like this is more than a town. What did you call it? Yeah, that's huge. Wow. Yeah, and all the architecture just, like, I can't even see it up close, and I bet it's way better once you get to be, like, standing next to it. When I went to Barcelona, we went by, like, that famous church house thing that's still being built. That the guy died, he wasn't able to finish, right? Yeah, I did see the flag. Anyways, that was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. With the green? That flag? The green flag? Okay. Back to food. Blah, blah, blah. I've been learning a lot about Mexico recently and other Spanish-speaking countries. I've been trying to learn Spanish. I was trying to learn Japanese a few years ago, and I think I came to the realization that I need to be able to talk to people consistently to be able to learn it better. And so the goal has been to move to Japan at some point for a year, so that way I can actually learn how to speak Japanese, not just know the words. And I was like, okay, but that's a while out, so what should I be doing? And I'm like, well, it's probably more likely that I need to speak with people in Spanish, considering that I don't know, a shit ton of our population speaks Spanish, and Mexico is literally right there. So I was like, okay, and then I know someone personally, and I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to fucking learn Spanish. Especially, I've been looking at different job opportunities, and a bunch of them are like, do you speak Spanish? And I'm like, kind of, poorly. like a child. Anyways, it was just one of those things where, I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm like, I need to start talking to people in Spanish. So I feel like the same thing about, like, if I was going to use, like, learn, like, other languages, which I plan to. I plan to learn other languages. Because I want to be able to communicate with people in the language that's, like, in that community. I feel like it's just, like, a nice gesture to show that you want to be accommodating just as much as they have to be accommodating because you're touristing there, you know? Yeah, exactly. When you can talk many things. Sup? Who's this? Francesco? Yeah? I say that right? It's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. I'm a random stranger that does random stranger things on here. Welcome to my adventure. Yeah, exactly. When you can speak, but anyways, like, because I was reading here, I have a job opportunity with English. That's how I feel. I'm like, if you can speak multiple languages, well, like, you can use them for stuff, but also, like, it opens up so many doors for you, and, like, to be able to do that. And, like, I understand, like, Japanese and Spanish, but to communicate with it is definitely, I stutter, I, like, panic a bit, and I know that, like, once I get some, like, time in talking to people, like, my brain will calm down and will come much more easier, but, like, I'm like, I'm like, I don't know, English, can we speak English? Let's go back to English. Oh yeah, Portuguese. I had a pen pal online for a while when I was younger who spoke Portuguese, and I, like, Google texted him back and forth, and we would do English sometimes and we would do Portuguese sometimes. It was cool. It was fun. Yeah, I was just listening to a podcast about the origination of all, like, the it's from Latin words, right? Like, all, like, Spanish, Portuguese. There's a whole bunch, but they're all originated from French. They're all originated from Latin, I believe. It's true. This hoodie? That's a good question. I went somewhere different. I don't normally go there, but my sister took me there. What was it called? I can't remember. But a store here in the US. It's really pretty though, right? I'm pretty sure it says Amor, but it's Amour. I'm pretty sure that's French. Or no. I googled it, and it is French actually. I think it's French for lover. Is it? I looked, but now I forgot. Sorry. Yeah. Italian, Spanish, yeah. Well, actually, English speakers have it the worst because the way our language is set up, since it's taken from so many, it's hard for our brains to, like there are some that are easier to learn for English speakers, but it's like difficult for us to learn other languages because of the way that this language was created, which I think is funny, because I think a lot of people think English speakers are lazy, and I think they are, because it doesn't come natural to them. And like, I know someone who's a native Spanish speaker and speaks like 2 to 3 different styles of Spanish, and then also knows English and is also learning Latin. And I'm like, how are you keeping that all up in there? And I just don't understand, because like, I'm not learning languages that are closer to the basic of mine, but like language, but also like the structuring of my language is completely opposite from the way those languages are structured. Actually, there's less structure, and I think that's what fucks me, is because I'm trying to relax into it, and my brain's like, no, where's the structure? Like German, Yeah, but a lot of English people have problems with like pronunciation and doing the tills, is that what they're called? The little like vocal changes in the vowels and stuff. What is that word? Anglosajons. Oh! The little... Yes. Those are those. Yes. I didn't tie my hair today. No. Do you like it this way? Or do you like it the other way? That's cool. I don't know much about like the Netherlands. I should know more though. There's just so much to learn about all the history, and like, you kind of need to know it. That's one thing I'm learning about Spanish right now, is you kind of need to understand like history and like the background. I didn't realize how much I used that in my day-to-day language, and like now I see why for some people they can't get rid of their accents, because they don't understand the basis of like why we do it the certain way, and so for them it feels funny, and I feel the same way trying to pronunciate words in another language. I'm like, but I don't understand, and then like I'll learn something about like why the words are like that, or why whatever, and then I'm like, oh, and then I can do it, and it's like weird that your brain needs like this comprehension to be able to speak. Nice. Norwegian for me. Norwegian, Russian, and German. That's where my family's from. Which is kind of funny, because I know, like, for a while I used to, like, not be like that. I used to be like, oh, yeah, like my family says they're from. But literally, I'm, like, 5th generation on both sides. Like, my great-great-great-great-grandmother came over here on a boat as a child. Like, there's pictures of her, so, from Norway. And we have family in Norway. I don't know them. I also was gonna learn Norwegian, and then everyone's like, don't learn Norwegian. The only people who use it are, like, Norwegians growing up, essentially. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, they normally speak English. And I'm like, I don't know. So if I ever go to Norway, I'll learn Norwegian, but apparently it's useless outside of that. A sensation? Oh yeah, when you understand it, you need to like connect the pieces. Okay, yeah. Okay, see you later, Kay. Should I be eating bacon like this? I don't know. But truthfully, it makes me happy and I eat more food. So I guess I shouldn't complain. Yeah. Which I think is really fucking awesome. Because I always thought, like, on Twitch, they, like, kind of push you towards, like, the audience that you're living around. But I feel like every time I get on Twitch, like, I rarely get people from the US here on, like, my stream. Which I kind of appreciate. It really helps me, like, learn different understandings of the world. And I like that. I like doing that. Yeah, I mean, not everyone agrees, right? And I think it kind of depends on your perception of the world, and I don't know. I think I don't think it's bad to have a community where you can kind of like, you know, everyone has their space and they know how to do it, and like everything works well, and it kind of like gears to a machine. It's like, right? You don't really have too many bumps in the road. It gives people stability, gives them calmness and peace. They're allowed to like create freely, I guess. Right? I'm thinking like the Renaissance kind of feels like there was such a long time period of like consistency. People want to make art in a different way and like learn things and make stuff. And I guess like that, like they also had good communication, right? And so I think we're missing things. Like, I feel like I should be able to just stay here and not have to move around if I didn't want to. I do want to move around, but like, you know, I think there's a lot of people who don't want to like travel about, but like it still would be really good for them to like know things or experience things outside of their community somehow, even if it was just by word of mouth. So I feel like TikTok has really been helping with that. I think TikTok started it, but I feel like the fast reels where people have like a minute, 5 minutes to like put something on and throw it out into the universe, like for everyone to experience and absorb fast, like that's passing information so quickly. And even if it's not accurate information, it's like perceivable real information, right? It's not like hearsay. It's like, no, I saw the video where like the guy was standing there and then the car just lift, right? Like you get to actually, like there's no somebody on the internet being like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what I saw. Like this fucking car just threw itself out of nowhere. Like, no, everyone gets to see. And they can speculate on their own, but there's no like, he was lying. There's no more that they lied. Like, it's like, we know, we're like, no, like, there's proof there, right there. So, I wonder what happened, right? Like, that's when people start actually diving into, like, oh, it was an earthquake, or blah, 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 right? But, and actually I've seen that on things where people, like, they post something creepy, crazy, or interesting, and even I'm like, what? And then I go into the comments, and then you see people being like, oh yeah, I'm a blah-da-da, and that's what this is. And then you can go onto Google and you're like, oh shit, like they're so right. It's like, I don't know, it's like learning. And I don't feel like you could do that before the internet. But also, even when the internet first came out, I think it was kind of like People weren't really using it for that. Yeah. Teamwork without much information. Yeah. Well, I mean, all of it's real information, right? Like, it's really here. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's why I miss like the like old news. If you ever look at old like news, it was so factual. It was like at da 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 this time there was a this call count. This how many people got hurt. It was a man, woman, da da. Right? They were very specific about like it was. There was no feelings around it. It was all very very logical. That was the news, and I kind of miss having news like that a little bit, where it was much more structured and less feeling based. Informational. Yeah, that's why I like Twitch too, because like it's kind of like, it's not just like the throw out of information, but it's like you get to sit there and be like, what did you mean about that though? Like, I know you said it like this, but like, what are you saying? And you can talk back and forth between like you, and it's not even like just me. You can have multiple people on here, and I love that. Or people that don't even know they're talking about the same thing. And then you also have the relaxed side where people are just playing games and trying to chill. It is, and I feel like we haven't really used it to the best of its ability yet. Like, I think we're starting to get more and more there, but text message. Yeah, I don't know. I think any kind of community can create like biases and fears, but I think it's hard. Like, I know people are like, people hide behind their keyboard, like they say it in a negative sense, like when people attack, but people also do it when they are standing up for themselves. They'll hide behind their keyboards because it's hard. Like, we see that with the way that Americans do what are they called? Strikes, right? In other countries, we have not seen this in America, not within my lifetime, where like in other countries, like blocks filled, stuffed, like everyone and their mother and their dogs are out picketing, like upset about this all together as a whole, and there's like no question about it. And like here in America, like they have to force, like half the time I don't even know it's happening. You have to want to know when they're happening. It's not like something where like you're like, I see that there's this thing happening, I guess I'll go do that because I believe in that. Like, you can't, it doesn't just pop up. You don't just see it randomly. You have to be searching for that information. You have to be continuously following those people and paying attention to everything that they're doing and make sure that they're keeping up, because maybe they'll get burnt out and need a break, and you need to find somebody else who's keeping up with when and it's just a lot of work to keep up here in the U.S. And so like a lot of people are lazy and they just don't do it, right? Myself was included. Like I used to, like, I didn't understand that I needed to go find those people and figure out what the websites were and the things I need to follow. And I just realized that it was just easier to let somebody else do the work and just keep changing and following people and paying attention and double checking their work on what they're doing. Because like someone knows how, and I don't. I still don't get it fully. I still don't know how people find like the nonprofits and stuff and where the startups come from, or like where they're, and I've been recently getting into like business startups and trying to figure out how they even, I guess I just learned about angels and angel investors, and I was just like, fuck man, like nonprofits and shit, like this is a lot of knowledge that I feel like I should already have, but I don't. And that's that. Now I'm figuring it out. Yeah. Always coming and going. New people here. No, seriously. Yeah, it really does. And like, you don't know that. The comfort creates this unknowing. And then the unknowing creates fear because you can see that people know something. Right? Like, humans aren't stupid. They may be lazy, but they're not stupid. Like, so like you can tell, you're like, but you don't want to be the ignorant one. Especially when like you're told you're born and raised in the most amazing place ever. And that everything's perfect here. And that we're the superpower and they're number one. You can't be the dumb one. Because then that would mean your country's lying to you. And people don't want to admit that the government is straight up teaching children propaganda 24/7 since I was born, minimally since I was born. Because I remember reading in a book, a history book in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, in these 3 years of my life, that we murdered all the indigenous people here. And that there was only a few reservations with the left of them that were left. That racism and slavery ended long, long ago. And that... What was the last thing that came to my mind? It was really good. I was trying to save the best one for last. Yeah, but like I think the dumb thing is like learning is always a need. To allow, like even in comfort, to allow your society to lose the need, to lose the idea that knowledge is a need means that they're just trying to control us. They're just trying to use us for for energy, you know? We're just a resource. And people need to understand that like knowledge keeps you from becoming your government's resource. That's why it's a bigger need in other countries, because they're not given as much luxuries and comfort as we are. We're comforted into the use, which keeps people at home and at work, which is what they want. And to survive here, like I literally have spent last 4 years trying to get out of it, and I have to go back now because I can't survive any longer like this. I needed to move out of the country, but I didn't know that 4 years ago. I understand that now, but now I don't. I need to go back into the system so I can live. What are you saying? Yeah, there is no infinite empires, yeah. Only evolving. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. If they, like, that's the whole point of governments. Is they're like the wheelhouse, right? They're the thought house. And they're like, okay, what do we need them to believe so we can do this? How do we need them to act? What do they need to believe for them to act this way, right? That's what the governments are. That they're just looking to get people to do what they need. Like think about oil and stuff. Oil makes them a lot of money, right? But like, if they had listened to Tesla, we wouldn't need it. But that would have made them no money, which means they wouldn't control the power, right? So it's like you gotta think like them. Like they want to be in control of how things are working. To do that, they need us to act a certain way. How do they get us to act that certain way? Yeah, and I didn't know that. Because I always saw myself as someone who enjoyed learning. Like, I really did. I saw myself as someone who enjoyed learning. But I didn't. I enjoyed experiencing. I enjoyed listening. But learning? That's a whole different thing. Whole different thing, for sure. I'm working on that right now. Oh, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, you should check out my YouTube. I just posted like these I read aloud a CIA document that was declassified, and it's essentially like the government saying that we have control over, like, each and every single one of us have control over whatever we want. Like, we are, like, you just have to learn how to do it. And gave us the ability, and, like, within it gave you the ability to be able to do so. And on top of that, even suggested that the government was going to start training people to use it for their own benefit. So, that was in 1983. Yeah, I have had ChatGPT. Actually, it's helping me a lot with my resumes right now. Because I've always disliked doing resumes, but this has made it a lot more easier, and reading them, I'm understanding what they're looking for better, because I never got a lot of feedback from, like, employers on my resumes. I just like, oh, you're not chosen, and that doesn't help much. It doesn't help at all, actually. But ChatGPT does. It's amazing. Pro-libertarian capitalist? I don't know what that means. I'm mostly pro everyone should have access and be encouraged and be taught all the information possible. And people should be allowed to do what they fucking want. And I understand that people look at that and probably think, wow, that's weird, chaotic, and nonsensical. But, like, I just thoroughly believe that if people are allowed to do what they want, we would work as a perfectly fine society. I don't know why everyone thinks we need rules. We all mostly agree on the same shit. The majority of us don't like the idea of someone randomly killing us on the street, and therefore don't agree with other people doing it to other people, and therefore find it normal to figure out why that person did it in the first place and how they should be punished for it, right? Or taught better, or, right? Like, I just think the majority of us agree on everything. It's just hard to communicate, and I think that was the point of governments, was to help create some sense of communication, or, like, understanding that even if you didn't agree, that it was within the best interest of you as well, you know, so people didn't have to communicate. And I just think we need to get over using third party. We don't need the governments, in my opinion. We have the internet. Like, we all talk all the fucking time. Most of us fucking agree. The only people who normally don't fucking agree with us are people who are listening to propaganda from, oh, who's that? Our governments? Weird. That's so weird. That the other people agree with our governments and not with the rest of society. So strange. Wonder why that is. I don't know. What? I'm not real sure, sorry. Is it? I don't know if I agree on free market or not. I haven't really. I'm learning about investing in taxes and here in the U.S. a lot more now. I didn't really understand it, nor did I want to. It freaked me out. But I need to, because I need to be financially liberated from this fucking country. Anyways. And plus, if I can do it, then I can teach other people to do it, and I really, 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 really want to do that. So. Yeah. I don't know. Because I think, like, it's fair that, like, people need stuff and that people should be compensated for the work that they're put into it, for the things that people need, and that people want stuff, and that there's going to need to be people who want to create that stuff to give that to the people who want that stuff. But, like, I feel like what we've seen here in the U.S. with capitalism that, like, gives me the heebie-jeebies for, like, the future of, like, free enterprise and stuff like that is, like, man, what if someone's smart enough to fuck with the collective, outsmart them to the point where they make people believe they need something, and then price the shit out of it, right? Like, I don't like that. I don't, because, like, there's always going to be a sucker in that sense. In that sense, like, there's always going to be somebody who, right, that is literally what our economy is made up of. Like, there's always going to be somebody who's losing, like, financially for you to make a profit, you know? Like, that's how that works, and it just doesn't sit well with me, and I just wish there was a better way, and I feel like there has to be, you know? I don't know it, but I feel like there has to be. Thanks for following, by the way. Oh, yeah. I was gonna do, like, the, oh, yeah, but then I thought maybe that was weird, so I did it the other way, but definitely the original way is better. Yeah, and I feel like if the government and the free market wasn't in charge of everything and like society had been, that we wouldn't have all this extra technology and stuff. Like, we would have been like, wow, we're learning through it so fast, let's all just keep using this until you get somewhere, and then we'll do that. Like, I just feel like people would have been so much more compromising, especially with the way cobalt and, like, I think there's, like, 2 other types of minerals that have been pulled from Africa for fucking forever, destroying a bunch of their, like, communities and their fucking environment. And I'm just like, if I had known, do you know how many less things I would have asked for electronically as a kid? Like, I would have waited so much longer for my first touchscreen. I would have you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have cared as much. I cared because, for me, it was about the social situation. And I was like, well, I need to have the new phone or I'm not going to be like the cool kids. But if someone has been like, do you want to be like the cool kids or do you want to not take this mineral from this fucking country? I would have been like, yeah, let's, never mind. I don't need the phone. I'm good. Thanks. You know? But no one gave me that choice. I mean, I had the choice. I could have gone look on, like, fucking Google, but I didn't know I needed to look for it. I should have been learning more about phones and electronics, and then maybe I would have learned sooner. Oh, yeah. Absolute fucking cutthroatly robbed. Yeah, I can see it. Like, I get it. To it, you know? But, like, there's some things where I'm like, I just wouldn't want that to happen again. Or worse, you know? Ooh, yeah. Get your coffee. I love drinking coffee. But I just learned a thing today. I need to go look into it. But apparently, coffee is bad for your vocal cords. I didn't know this. I didn't know. And so I have to decide if I'm going to keep drinking cafe for my voice. I don't know. I do like my voice. But I also like coffee a lot. You know what? I was going to put my hair up. I'm not used to it. Not used to it yet. I know my hair probably looks short to everyone else, but this is the longest it's been in years. In absolute years. I'm a bleacher and a dyer and a cutter and a shaver. I shaved my head like 4 times. That's a lie. I did it like 10 times last year. I do it like every 2 weeks. Shave my head down, bleach the ends. I wonder if you can still find pictures of that. But I was bleaching my hair box dye since I was like 17, 16. I don't know. How long have I drinking coffee? Oh gosh. I don't think that long. Maybe same time, 16. When did most people start drinking coffee? You know, I started drinking coffee because I watched all the adults drink coffee and I felt like an adult, and I was like, well, if they're adults and they drink coffee and I'm an adult, I was definitely a child, then I should drink coffee. And I think I begged my parents every chance I got. I tried to get my family in on it, I'm pretty sure. Like my grandparents be like, can I get coffee? Like at family events and shit, I'd be like, can I have coffee? Did I like it then? No. No, I did not. I don't think but I was drinking it black, truthfully. I don't think my parents felt like I needed the sugar. I didn't need the sugar. But now I drink it, well, not anymore. I've gotten away from that. But you get that really sugary creamer, and I'd fill it like 75% way up with the creamer, and then like a splash of coffee. Or like go to Dutch Bros. It's a coffee place, kind of like Starbucks, but smaller chain, more local area. Anyways, I go there and it's essentially like a smoothie, but just coffee and sugar and milk. So that's what I normally drink, but I backed off from that, and now I drink decaf and normal coffee with some sugar and milk, which I actually enjoy now, and I think a part of that has just been the long time use. Not the lagging. Is my phone getting hot? No. I don't know. Shows the internet is fine. I don't see anything wrong with my bit rate either. Weird. Oh yeah, that was my favorite thing about Paris. I had so much coffee there. It was so fucking good. I get like the little tiny like cappuccinos with like the glass of water. Addicted. Did not help at all. But I enjoyed it, and I think that's what matters. String together. What is this? I love when like my stuff is like just randomly like alerts. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I was reading a book. Just sitting, reading a book, drinking the coffee. It's nice. It's nice. We don't do that here in America. Like, people do, but, like, it's, like, for work or something, right? They're, like, it's, like, work. It's, like, coffee work. Like, that's what everyone's doing. Like, you can go to, like, coffee places where they also have food, and you'll see people talking there. But, like, people don't just sit alone, drinking coffee, reading a book for funs. They don't. Not here. I don't see it often anyways. It's not a common thing. But, like, every place I went by in Paris, at least three people sitting down reading a book to themselves while drinking coffee. And I'm like, ugh. Also, I take a long time to eat food. I really do. And I felt like I was rushing there. And I'm just like, what do other Americans feel like? Because, like, I know that I eat slow comparatively to a lot of other people. And so the fact that in Paris, I felt like they were, like, surprised how fast I ate compared, I'm like, I feel like I'm doing something right and also wrong at the same time. And I'm just, it made me feel weird. I was like, I don't understand. And I want to come back because I don't want to feel rushed again. Like, I like kind of molding into this and being comfortable, like, sitting somewhere for over an hour eating food and not being like, oh, wow, every table's come in and out twice since I've been sitting here. Fuck. Buenos Aires, huh? Wow, that's cool. Paris of America. I love that. In Buenos Aires. That's great. Yes, I was confused. I was like, I'm gonna go back to fucking America. This is so nice. I do love, though, that, like, I don't know why America has got to be so fast-paced. I don't get why everyone enjoys that so much. We're like 30 minutes for lunch, 30 minutes for dinner, 30 minutes for bed. I'm like, I need 2 hours. I need 2 hours, and that's just for eating. I need an hour at least to make the food. So I need 3 hours each meal. That's 9 hours out of my day. I just took my sleep and my meals right there. 18 hours out of 24 hours. And you want me to work 8 hours on top of that? Like, no, I don't agree. I don't know. I get jealous a little bit with how, like, some job structures are, like, Australia's job, like, structure is. But I'm also glad I don't have Japanese work culture here. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I try not to complain because I know I could hate some things worse. And that I could like some things better. So I appreciate what we got, but sometimes, but only jokingly. I think eventually, I think it's already getting better here, though. I think people see what we could have and what's reasonable. I think that's what they're trying to, like, America's trying to figure out right now. They're like, what's a reasonable price for a reasonable work, like, section? Because, like, we've already seen it with, like, people being like, oh, people at McDonald's don't deserve that much money. And people are like, okay, what do people deserve then? And then, like, everyone's having the conversations around, well, this is how much it costs to live in these areas. And people are like, well, then shouldn't we be minimally making sure every job that is worked can do that minimally, right? Even if it's McDonald's. Oh yeah, because of the fires that happen, like, literally every year, literally so often that they don't talk about them anymore. some crazy stuff happened there. Whenever I see videos from Australia, I'm just like, I feel like it's larger Florida. But like, everyone there is cool instead of on drugs. I met a wonderful young lady from Australia my senior year of high school, and I remember her to this day. And one of the biggest moments I remember is like, we were having a conversation and she asked me for something, and I was like, a what? And she said, I can't even tell you what it is she said. I can't even repeat it. I don't remember that, but I just remember being so perplexed. I'm like, what is this word you're saying? And the thing is, it's like, I understand people to a weird degree, to a freaky degree. So much so that I met a man in Paris that we became friends, we chatted, and he showed me some stuff. It was a wonderful time. But like, I understood every word he said pretty much. And he was perplexed because he's like, most people don't understand my English. And I'm like, I don't know. But this one word she said, I couldn't hear it. I was like, what are you saying? And she's like, ugh, you know, the little round bread things with the hole missing in the center. And I was like, a bagel? So I don't know how she was pronouncing it, but my brain would not accept it as a flippin' word. Like, to this day, I can't hear it. Like, my brain's like, no, that's wrong. It's not wrong. It's just the way she pronounces it, right? And like how it's pronounced there, or whatever word they have for it there, and I just was ignorant, but like, my brain really was like, no. And it just doesn't normally do that, and I'm just like, alright. It's more than that, though, because it's also, like, you have to, like, I don't know, do you know that, like, there's an indigenous population there, right? And then that they dropped, like, all of the prisoners and stuff, like, there. So it's, like, this, it's, like, an accent between that and also probably a mixture of, like, the indigenous, like, language that was there prior, just because I think that's pretty much how language works. Like, I don't know, I don't actually know, but I just feel like every time I hear someone explain it, they're like, I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, that's just how language works. If there was an indigenous language there, it somehow incorporates itself into the added language and creates a new dialect in that language, essentially. That's how we feel about Canadians. We're like, we'll, oh, what is it? Eh? See ya, eh? Like, like, Americans always are like, they're just always saying eh. I actually knew somebody who moved from Canada to a town that I was living in South Dakota, and I was like, he didn't say the A thing, and I was like, so if you moved from there, is that something they actually do? Because, like, I want to know, or am I just dumb and ignorant? And he's like, no, they actually do it. And I was like, really? He's like, you want to hear a joke? And I was like, yeah, sure. And they're like, when the settlers came over, they didn't know what to call the land, so they put all the letters they had of the alphabet into a hat, and they said, everyone's gonna pick one, and that will be the name of our country. They were like, okay, first guy's good. He said, see, eh? Next guy goes, he goes, eh? The next guy goes, yeah. Canada. Okay. Really? I know some. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I know. I think it's kind of funny that people don't understand that rugby is like an indigenous game. Did you hear about, like, I don't know where they're from, but there is like an official Olympic. Oh, I didn't check up because I heard there might be some problems with their passports actually. But there's an indigenous Olympic rugby team now. I think rugby, or is it something else? Lacrosse? I can't remember. It's either lacrosse or rugby, but there's an indigenous team that is now actually an Olympic team. So we'll see. I'm excited. That's pretty fucking cool. I don't know too much. I don't pay attention to a lot of sports. I feel like my biggest thing is I really love competing in sports, and so it's like hard for me to watch other sports because I think other people get gratifications of like teams winning or people doing a good job or whatever. I don't get that gratification. Like, I want to be there. I feel like I need to be participating hands-on for me to get any good feelings from it. Otherwise I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I understand. Oh, wow. That's cool. That's crazy you know all this stuff. You like history, huh? Maybe you just tell me that? The Maoris? Oh yeah, they do like the really deep, loud voice. Isn't it like it's like a warrior's call kind of thing, right? It's like to bring the spirit in and stuff. It's like more religious and spiritual to them, isn't it? Like good luck and stuff. Like there's like a lot of meanings, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I've watched some videos and stuff on it. I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have. Because I really liked The Rock. And I'm pretty sure he is Maori. And because I remember after watching a movie that he did that... I don't want this to be too loud. Oh. Okay, no, maybe he's not. Maybe he's like, it's different. Oh, no, they're about to, huh? They're working. Yeah, they were just starting. Okay. Yeah. I don't have the sound on, but I know what it sounds like. I've heard it a bunch of times. I just want to see them do, like, the stances. Is it gonna show? Yeah! That one! Yeah, that's it. I was like, what's the thing they do? And it's like, they go... They do like the body slapping, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to intimidate people too, I think, right? Like that's a little bit a part of it. It's supposed to like bring it on. It's so cool. I wish I had this kind of culture in my blood. I love how it's like showing other people that aren't a part of the team like wording to it, like just like calmly, like not to like intrude on what they're doing, but like it's just kind of, I don't know, it's energy, like you can feel it, like when they're, because you feel how much they like, I don't know. Yeah. I love when they get into it and they do like the tongue thing. Whenever I take pictures, it's my favorite thing. I go, right? And so people recently were like, do the tongue thing. And I'm like, then I'm laughing. And I'm like, I don't know. I like it. I like when people get into stuff and they just use their tongue too. I don't know. I like the expression. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I started learning about that with The Rock, and then like after that I've heard like just randomly from like keeping up with like other indigenous information online that I can find and follow people of, like it would come up from time to time. I watch them. They're really like, it is really cool to watch. It kind of feels inspiring. And it's like not my culture or anything like that, and I couldn't fully comprehend, you know, but like I do enjoy it. I watched this really funny video the other day of like this guy, he's indigenous to Hawaii, and he was like, when white people start getting, or like when new white people join and are like creating their own dancing circle and invite you over, and then like he like goes and there's like this video that he's found of like these white people, I don't know, they're dancing, they're doing something, and I get that like what they were trying to do was probably just like get comfy and dance, whatever, but like you can just tell that there's a lack of taut movement in their dancing style, which makes it feel a little awkward watching them. And I think, especially when you know a dancing style, and so you kind of can understand seeing other people's dancing styles, and you see the flow and the movement, and even if it's not yours, right? And I think it's just like you can see that there's no flow or movement. It's just kind of like random expression, and that's fine, but like it was quite funny. It was really funny. He was like, all right. He's like leaving, like kind of like Homer Simpson, like the bush. It was great. That's cool. I love that they would do that. Fuck yeah. Intimidate them. Get out of here. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. No, I bet, because I bet most of those people are so stuck in their bubble that they never experience other people's cultures, and when it's thrown in their faces in these unexpected places, like, because they're used to, like, people keeping it to themselves, like, they're like, they get so caught off guard, they're like, what's happening? Like, are they allowed to do that? Like, oh yeah, I'm so glad you sent it to me. This is gonna be great. Oh fuck. What did you say? Hardem. I don't know if I know who that is. I'm sorry, I don't know people's names or like. He's like, what are they doing? They're like, we didn't prepare anything. We didn't know this was gonna be a dance battle. Bro, you told me no dancing. That's what their face is. I like they clap. That's so nice of them. I love that because they could have been absolute dick faces. I hate when people are rude about that kind of stuff. I'm like, if you can't appreciate it, just don't say anything. Just don't do anything. It's fine. You don't have to. All right? But also, don't be an asshole. You can be an asshole, but I'm just saying it's not fair. You don't look great. You look like an ass. Yeah, I like it though. It is like, okay, so I think back to high school, and my favorite thing about high school sports was volleyball because the cheer team, like they always cheery, like they're like what was one of them? It was like ace, and then like I don't know, but I just remember being able to do those things, and I love when you can get the crowd into it, or when a team does something like that. Like I feel like it just builds the excitement to want to root for them. And I feel like we've kind of lost that a little bit. Like I think that's what cheer was supposed to be for like football and stuff, was to kind of like remind people they're a part of the team and like get them into it, and like I don't know, it just doesn't feel like that's what they do anymore. I feel like it's just for shows and half naked women now. Like, yo, you need a break from watching men tackle each other? Here, panties. That's what it feels like now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I mean, like, if I'm gonna watch other people play a sport and I'm not participating, I need to participate somehow. I need to be involved somehow. I don't, like, I'm not gonna watch if I have to sit there like, that's not fun. That's not fun. It's not enjoyable. I don't get that. I don't get how people just nonchalantly watch games. Like, how are you doing that? I would be so bored. I would be so bored. I just like, I would die of boredom. And games last forever. Forever. Hours. For what? I don't know. Yeah. I do enjoy participating somehow. Like the same thing, like I haven't really gone to concerts, and I think a big reason is just because like I don't feel like I want to hear them sing, but everyone else is singing a song, so I guess I'll sing along too. But now I can't hear them sing, right? I want to participate, and then I noticed not K-pop. Is it K-pop? But like, you know, like Pink and stuff, like the band, the groups of singers that people really enjoy from Korea. I just feel like if you watch some of their concerts, like people get like glow in the dark stuff, or like they're involved, like they dance with the crowd, like they have moments that people don't, for shouting that they're supposed to have, and that they're a moment in certain songs and certain dance moves as a crowd, and that's what I want. And I'm paying to come see you. Like we need to be interacting. And if you got millions of people, you gotta figure out how to get us all together. I feel like that's what we're paying for. Otherwise, smaller venue if you can't handle it, you know? And that's cool. I think that's really cool. I feel like people should want to do that kind of stuff for fun. Let's see. Whoa. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. The closest we get to something like this is like probably New Year's in New York. That's so cool. On the lamppost! They were right in the fucking lamppost! That's fucking amazing. I bet that was so great. I bet that was a good time. That's beautiful. Oh fuck. That's cool. That's awesome. I bet that was cool to experience. Did my browser just get dropped? Can you see me still? What's happening? Huh. Weird. That was strange. Anyways. Hi. Who? The black ghost. Okay. Sunday. Were you there? I bet that was fun. I wish I could go to someone like that. To me? Are you saying what to me? Okay. Was it still fun though? I've never like gone like big, like anything where like people are like, oh, a whole bunch of people are gonna be here for this thing that's everyone's celebrating all over the US. So I'm like, and then I'm not gonna be anywhere near any of you. Oh, you were working? That's not fun. I have a pickle. Ooh. So like an after work kind of thing. I love pickles. Do you do that normally, or was it like special? And then you got to watch like the once in a lifetime chance. I feel like there was something recently where like some people, like a country or like a specific team in a country was like winning something over and over and over again. And this last year, like, they won again, but like no one was there because people were so used to them winning. They like expected it. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. I feel like I'd be more excited, but I also understand that after like your 8th win, like you're like, yeah, well, of course. It was nice to see you again today. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. I'm probably about to jump off. Yeah, thanks for chatting with me. I appreciate it. I'll probably be back on tomorrow, so if you're around, I'll see you then. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god! That had some like strong vinegar taste in it. You ever do that? Like I like it with like an orange or like a strawberry or like anything like juicy fruit, you know, you're like you bite into it. It's all juicy. Peaches is good like that. But pickles, I literally set them out on a towel before I eat them because I like them not as like juicy. You know? Like I like the flavor. I just like them crunchy, not gooey, you know, not like splurging in my mouth. Did not mean it like Oh, shit. Okay. How long did we go the other day? Let's see. We did 2 hours. Okay, so I feel like we've hit that too today. Yeah. I think we're good. I guess I could keep going, but I just don't feel like it right now. I'm kind of tired. It's almost 11 anyways. You know what I mean? Alright, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.